If a house is full of Torah scrolls, does it need a mezuzah on the doorpost? According to the Midrash, this is one of the arguments Korach raises when he leads a rebellion of 250 men against Moses and Aaron in this week's Parsha. If I had ever said anything like this, probably as a kid, my parents would have called me a wise guy and sent me out of the room. That's because I, like Korach, would have been completely, and it would seem intentionally, missing the point. Korach was really just trying to make Moses look bad in the eyes of his followers and the community. In Jewish tradition, Korach is the epitome of selfishness, motivated by ego, pride, and jealousy. He doesn't challenge Moses for the sake of the community or some greater good. He's out solely for his own personal agenda. He's angry, he feels slighted, and he takes it out on Moses. That's why in Pirkei Avot, the ethics of our fathers, we learn there are two kinds of arguments. An argument for the sake of heaven, and an argument that's not for the sake of heaven. And we get examples. An argument for the sake of heaven, Hillel and Shammai. An argument that's not for the sake of heaven, Korach and his followers. When Hillel and Shammai would debate, and they opposed each other on everything, one would take one position, the other the opposite, and they would argue. But it wasn't about them. This was their best way for finding the right answer, for finding the truth. It wasn't about themselves. But for Korach and his crew, they weren't looking for truth. They were out to destroy Moses. They were out just for themselves. We've all been in arguments before, and we'll all be in arguments again. Sometimes pushing back isn't just reasonable, it's welcome, and even necessary. But what we learned from this episode, from Korach, is to ask ourselves, why are we arguing? Is it for the truth? Or is it for ourselves? Oh, and by the way, the answer to the mezuzah question is, of course it still needs a mezuzah. Shabbat shalom.